Alright, everybody, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and let me know what you thought of the video. Otherwise, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get to it, and again, hope you enjoy. Let's see. Okay, I think I have that taken care of. That looks fine. Okay. So what's next? Oh. Aha. I think I might just have the answer to that question. What is up? How are you? Alright, and I recognize you. It's been a few weeks, but you are... That's right. I do remember. Okay, well, I'm assuming that you're here again to check up on your ears and your hearing, right? Okay, very good. Well then, let me go ahead. And get started here. So first off, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Is it? Let me see. Here's my pencil. Now, let me actually first get your name again real quick. Just spell it out for me, please. Okay, and that's as in... Okay, very good. And we should still have your information on our system, so once I put your name in, everything should be good there. So, just 2 or 3 questions, just real quick and easy. First off, how would you rate your hearing on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being that you are absolutely deaf and you can't understand what I'm saying right now, and 10 being that your hearing is so perfect that you have no reason to be here. Okay. All right. That about does it for that one. Now, next question. How would you rate your ears on a scale of 1 to 10? And you are free to interpret that however you like, but 1, of course, being not good, the worst, and 10 being great and amazing, the best. Just how would you rate your ears? Could be physical appearance compared to others. Could be functionality. Could be a variety of things. Okay. You can be specific. Alright. Now could you just turn your head to the side for me, please? Okay. Now, this way. Okay. Good. I would say, pretty accurate how you rated them, based on what I think. Now, have you had any ear infections in the past 2 to 3 months that we should know about? Okay. Great. So that about does it for the questions there. Like I said, quick, easy, just 3 questions there. Go ahead and put that all up. Go ahead and put the notebook away as well. I've got what I need there. So how about we start off with one of the more simple tests, and I think one that you tend to like and appreciate a bit more. So we'll start off with the whispering, and then we'll move on into some of the more difficult things. Sound good? Okay, well, as per usual, I'm just going to whisper a word in each of your ears, and you just repeat it back to me. And I'll whisper the word 2 times at about roughly the same volume for you to hear to make sure you understand. Okay? Alright, you'll just repeat it back to me after I whisper it 2 times. And feel free to close your eyes. And of course, I have a list of words here right behind you, so I'll just be looking around as I move from side to side, okay? Let's go ahead and start out. Alright. Misconduct. Misconduct. Good. Athletic. Athletic. Okay. Cadillac. Cadillac. word was quintuplet. Very good, very good. Okay, well, you did good on that part. Like I said, pretty easy. This next one may be a little difficult. We're going to put a little twist and spin on the usual beep test, but first I need to give you the headphones. And so, of course, I will explain the little twist that we are putting on that right after I give you the headphones here. So let me unravel them. Alright, let me make sure that they are on the right side here. Okay. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and help you to get these on. Just excuse me real quick. And so now, how do those feel for you? You feel good? Not too uncomfortable or anything like that? Okay. That's good, that's good. Now, for this little beep test, of course, I'm going to say start, put up my hand to let you know that we're starting. I'm going to play a certain number of beeps. They're going to be the same pitch, a couple different volumes to make them a little either more difficult or a little easier to hear, depending for some of them. And then I'm going to say stop and put up my hand so you know that we're stopping. And you just listen and count how many beeps you hear. Right? Seems simple. So the little twist is that while you listen out for these beeps, I am going to be reading a little story that I have pulled up. So it'll be up to you to focus in and really listen hard for the beeps and pay no mind to me while I read my story, or if you'd like, listen to me if the story seems interesting. But then if you don't actually hear the beeps and can't manage to count them correctly, then you will end up failing this portion. Understand? Okay, so I'm just going to be reading, soft-spoken, just a little story, and we'll do this a couple of times, okay? But how about I go ahead and actually let you hear what the beep is going to sound like so you know what you're listening for. So let's go ahead and play it one time. There it is right there. Okay, how do we play it one more time? There it is. Okay. So, you heard that right? And so you have an idea of what kind of noise you're looking out for. Alright. Well then, let us go ahead and get this started. So you're trying to listen and count how many beeps, or listen to me, of course. Just ignore me. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Growing up read the poster hanging above Mrs. Langer's second grade classroom. Below the poster sat a small plant and Sam's favorite, a hamster relaxing in a hamster house. Sam was a member of Mrs. Langer's classroom, and every chance he had, he ran as fast as he was allowed to catch a glimpse of Mr. Hammy, the classroom hamster. Last week, Sam had even bought Mr. Hammy a toy, a small green and white colored ball. When Mr. Hammy was presented with the new toy, he squealed with joy, holding onto the ball with his tiny claws, chewing on the rubbery lining. Sam always delighted in seeing Mr. Hammy playing with the gifted ball, until one day, when Mr. Hammy no longer seemed interested in playing with it. Mrs. Langer, Sam wondered, why isn't Mr. Hammy playing with my ball like he used to? Well, explained Mrs. Langer, Mr. Hammy is growing up, and as you grow up, toys that you used to play with, you may put away and no longer play with. Mr. Hammy is becoming a big, strong adult hamster. Sam responded with disappointment. After school that day, Sam returned home and was greeted by his older brother and parents, His older brother, however, quickly retreated to his bedroom to do homework. Watching closely, Sam copied him by retreating to his own bedroom. Toys were spread out all over the floor of his bedroom, toys that he loved and enjoyed playing with. This is going to take a while, he thought to himself, as he started to gather the toys one by one and placed them in his toy chest. Once the toys were all in the chest, Sam locked the chest and slumped onto his bed. Now what? Sam thought to himself. He didn't feel any better. In fact, without his toys, he was rather bored. Sam waited as the hours slowly ticked by until he could hear his older brother snoring in the adjacent room. Stop right there. So, how many beeps did you hear on that portion right there? Okay, take a second to think about it. There could have been some really quiet ones, or there could have been some relatively loud ones. Just think about it, everything you thought you might have heard. Okay. You sure about that? Okay, I like the confidence. Alright, so let's go ahead and start back up again. I'm going to start reading again. Tiptoeing into his brother's room, Sam grabbed his brother's backpack and quickly retreated back to his own bedroom. He then emptied the contents of the backpack onto the floor. Papers, folders, and books tumbled out from the backpack. Grabbing the book closest to him, Sam opened the book and began reading. On Joseph's farm, there were a total of 40 animals, a combination of pigs and chickens. Joseph counted 100 legs in all. How many pigs were there, and how many chickens were there? That's a good question, Sam thought to himself. He grabbed another book and began reading. One of the causes of world hunger is infrastructure instability. Poor infrastructure makes it difficult, even impossible, to transport food to towns or remote villages that desperately need it. Scratching his head, Sam opened yet another book. The U.S. national debt has reached levels not seen since World War II. As of 2019, U.S. debt has grown beyond $17 trillion. Yawning, Sam closed the book and crawled into bed. Unfortunately, sleep did not come to Sam easy that night. He ruminated over all the things he had just read. Pigs have four legs and chickens have 2, but could I possibly know how many pigs and chickens there were? And how would I be able to build enough roads and bridges to allow starving children to receive the food that they desperately need? As for $17 trillion, Sam wasn't sure exactly how much that was, but was hopeful that perhaps the coins in his piggy bank would be able to cover that. I'm not sure I like this growing up thing. Sam would have rather spent the night bringing out his toys and playing with them one more time. But, as Mrs. Langer said, in order to be a strong grown-up, you need to put away your toys and deal with grown-up issues. While not feeling content, exhaustion eventually overtook Sam, and he slept through the night. Okay, stop. Now, how many beeps do you think that you heard in that portion? Okay. Again, think about all the ones you could have heard or potentially heard. Okay. And you're sure you're confident with that answer? All right. If you say so. Okay. Well then now we should be on to the last part here. If you would though, just give me 1 second. I need to get a little bit of water for myself. It's hard on the throat reading all this much, so just give me 1 second here. Okay, alright. I feel a little bit better now. Thank you for giving me a second. Now let's continue on with the story. We only have a little bit more, and this will be the last portion for the beep test. So let's go ahead and start. The next morning, Sam grabbed the books he took from his older brother's room and transferred them to his own backpack.
He dragged the heavy backpack all the way to school before letting the backpack fall off his shoulder in Mrs. Langer's classroom. It was free time, and one of Sam's best friends immediately approached him. "Tom and I are playing Monster Game. Come join us." Sam declined, taking out one of his newly possessed books from his backpack. "I need to work on solving these problems." Throughout the rest of the school day, Sam declined to join in on the fun and games with his classmates and instead focused on the problems documented in the book. But despite all the pondering and contemplation, head scratching and struggling, Sam wasn't 1 inch closer to solving any of those problems. Defeated, Sam buried his head into the book. "What's wrong?" asked Mrs. Langer. "Last night I put away all of my toys, and I started reading my brother's books. They're full of problems, and I don't know how to fix any of them. I really just want to play with my toys and my friends, but I also want to grow up like Mr. Hammy." "Oh, well, let's go see what Mr. Hammy is doing right now." Sam and his teacher walked over to the hamster house and took a look. While the green and white ball was still sitting by itself, Mr. Hammy was instead in a hamster wheel, squealing as he ran and made the wheel spin and spin. "I just placed the wheel in his house this morning, and he's already loving it," Mrs. Langer started. "Growing up doesn't mean you have to throw away all your toys and only focus on adult problems. As you grow up, there may come a time where you no longer enjoy playing with a specific toy, but that doesn't mean you need to stop playing altogether." Surprised, Sam asked Mrs. Langer, "Does that mean I can still play with my friends?" "Of course you can, and you don't need to stop just because you're all grown up." Okay, stop that there. So, how many beeps did you think that you heard in that portion right there? Okay. A little shorter on the reading. So could you tell how many? Alright, and you're confident in that answer. Are you locking that in as your final? Alright. You did pretty bad. I'm just playing with you. You did pretty good on that. Even if the numbers weren't exactly right, as long as you were actually still within a close range, it still shows pretty good on the hearing. So now what we're going to do, another thing with the headphones, not the beep test. What we are actually going to do is, or I'm going to play some ambient noise, basically some background noise for you to listen to, and you just let me know what it sounds like to you. Okay? So if it were like just some kids playing in a park, that's what it sounds like to you. You just let me know that that's what you hear. Okay? And these should be relatively easy, relatively common sounds that you should be able to recognize. And I'll let you listen for about, say, 10 to 15 seconds, and then I'll ask you what you heard, okay? Alright, well then let's go ahead and get started. I got 4 different sounds, so it shouldn't take more than a few minutes to get through this. Let's go ahead and start. So this is the first one. Okay. And what was that sounding like to you? Alright. You confident in that answer? Alright, and if you need me to, I can play the sound again for about 5 more seconds if you really want me to. I just gotta ask. Okay, you feel like you know what that was? Alright. As long as you're confident in your answer, that's fine by me. Now, let's move on to the second one. Go ahead and start this one up. And what did that bit of noise sound like for you? Can you identify that? Yeah, that one, again, pretty easy, pretty simple. Alright, now let's move on to the next one. This one, you'll see, or I guess you'll hear. Let's go ahead and start it up now. Okay, and what were you hearing there? Alright, alright. Would you like to maybe try listening again for another 5 seconds? Just to double check and make sure for yourself. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and start it up now. Okay, and what was that sounding like to you there? Now that you double checked. Could be anything. Sounded like some frogs croaking. That is, yep. It would make sense. The frogs would start croaking after some thunderstorms went through. All the frogs and animals will be out. That's why I said maybe you'd hear the connection there. Alright. Now we just have one last one, and then I'll go ahead and take the headphones away from you. So go ahead and listen into this one. We're starting it now. Okay, and what did that sound like to you? Okay, however best you can describe it, I'll interpret it. I'll try and. Okay, you want to listen to another time? Okay, we'll listen to it one more time. Go ahead and start it up now. Okay. And now can you quite put your finger on it? Alright. Just sounds like a bunch of people just kind of lightly talking. That is exactly what it is. It's just a crowd making some noise, some light noise. Nothing too intense or anything like that. Wouldn't want to hurt your ears while you got the headphones on. Well, I'd say you did pretty well on that portion right there. So I guess we'll just do one last little thing, and then we'll actually go ahead and get you out of here. Okay, I mean, unless of course you wanted to stay and do a super lengthy ear exam here and test. I figured, I mean, we're already going to be here for a while, so no need to delay it any further. We'll just do one last quick. I think this will actually be something easy for you. We'll finish it off good. But first, just go ahead and let me go ahead and grab those headphones off you, please, if you don't mind. And here we go. Headphones are gone. So let me wrap them up. Alright, there we go. You can see these again next time you come along if you do decide to. Okay, now let's put that away. So, like I said, last thing we're going to do should be super easy and simple. So what I have with me is some bubble wrap, right? Some good old bubble wrap. Bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. Some bubble wrap. And you know what we're going to do with this? Make some noise. That's exactly right.
So, I just want you to listen as I crumple this and mess around with it, kind of like that, and make a noise just like that, and I'll move it around further, or closer and further away from you, and I'll constantly make noise with it, but I'm randomly just going to stop making noise. So whenever I stop, you just go ahead and give me some kind of notification that you heard that it stopped. So just say like now, or put your hand up, or both. Okay? That sound easy? Should be. So let's go ahead and start this off. Like I said, I may move it further away, so it's a bit harder to hear. Still shouldn't be too bad. Okay, okay, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and start making noise with it again. Okay, okay. Very good, very good. Now we'll start making noise again. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Like I said, super simple and super easy. Okay, okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Go ahead, keep it going. Alright, alright. Good stuff. Alright, alright. Very good, very good. And we'll do it one last time. Okay, okay. Good stuff. And that is it. I like to finish it off on something relatively easy and simple, so that just in case somebody didn't do too great on the more important sections, they can at least leave feeling off like they did good on something. At least I would hope that most people would do pretty decent with that. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put that away. Take out the notebook again, just to put down my final notes and evaluation of your performance today. So if you would just give me 1 second here to write down. Okay, just a little bit more. Okay. There we go. So I wrote down a little evaluation for you. I'll go ahead and hand that to you on your way out. Go ahead and tear that off. Just for you. Okay. I'll go ahead and fold this up for you. Read that when you get out of here. Just evaluating your performance, letting you know what kind or what sections you may want to work on with your hearing, as well as what kind of routines, what kind of things you can change or do to try and help and to improve with all of that. Okay. Otherwise, you did relatively decent on the examination, but not to the point where I would say you were absolutely perfect. So there definitely are some things to improve on. Okay. Alright. Well then, I will go ahead and leave this with you. Go ahead and take that. You make sure you heed the words that are written down on there. And I guess I'll see you later another time. Remember, you're always free. No, not free. But you're free to come back and see me again. Again, Jalen, you already know me pretty well by now. And if there's anything else you'd like to say or ask me, go ahead and I guess let me know now before you go. Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck out there with your hearing, and you'll be alright. Okay? Alright. It was my pleasure taking care of you again, and I guess I will see you another time, hopefully. Alright. Well, then you go ahead and stay safe out there, alright? I'll see you later.